Hello, beautiful souls. Excuse me. My throat is just a smidgen itchy. I'm not going to give into it and say I'm getting a cold, but just have a little bit of a scratchy throat. And we just finally got our first decent snowfall for the winter. A little late. It seems the South kind of stole our winter this year, but it's back. So I'm driving. I just dropped my kids off at school. And I'm heading to the college to do my own work. Excuse me, I'll take a quick drink of water. Okay. So I had a little download, and I haven't even got that far into the download, and I thought, well, maybe I'll record this download as I'm driving instead of having that load and then trying to remember it. I was listening to a YouTube video, and they had mentioned the song Come Together. And as she said, I think it's the Beatles. Come together right now. Over me. Anyways, enough of that. So, it started making me thinking about America, and specifically, I come from the United States, so if you're watching outside of the United States, this won't be specific to you, but the message is universal, so stick around. And I'm really sorry about the coughing. I can't really control that. So, I have a friend on Facebook. I've known this friend, I don't know how far back we go. I want to say high school, maybe even junior high. And he's a black guy, and he's really awesome. And he posts a lot of stuff. I think he tends to lean a little more on the liberal side, which is fine. I'm an independent. I don't really care. I have friends on both sides. But as a black person, he's very much in tune with his own culture and celebrating his culture. And we're in Black History Month right now. And so he's been posting some stuff. And I thought it'd be interesting to ask him what his opinion as a black person is about how we could end racism, at least in our country, because racism is an issue worldwide. It's a human issue. It's not just an American issue. But I was asking him specifically, what his opinion is to how we could end racism in the U.S. And he had a very thoughtful answer, and it really got my gears going. But it also spoke to a bigger picture as well. And that bigger picture being, what is America? What is the United States? What is it that makes us? Because you watch some of these videos of foreigners, people that are not from our country, you're in the wrong fracking lane, bro. Sorry. To be fair, the lines in the road are really hard to see right now, but this guy's not even in the turn lane. Yeah, he gets it now. Okay. Too late. Sorry, guys. Anyways, the United States, and I'm sure it's this way for many other countries as well, is a modge-podge of culture. We have, you can say you're American, but really, American is synonymous with cultures from around the world because people have migrated here for a very long time. Even the Native Americans, if you go back in their lineage, migrated from Asia. So every human being that's living in the United States has heritage from all over the world, okay? And, that's right, I was starting to say that foreigners have this weird viewpoint of Americans. They see us as America, and then beer drinking, beer belly, America, kind of viewpoint of us. And I don't want to say I'm offended by that, but I kind of am a little bit, in the sense that we have cultivated that image over a period of time. And when you look at I'm not trying to pick on conservatives. I was a conservative for many years of my life. They kind of perpetuate this image, and I happen to live in an area of the United States that's very heavily conservative, and so I witness a lot of things that really contribute to that image of Americans. Okay? And I don't have a problem with having pride in your country, but therein lies the message is, what is it that we're exactly proud about? Because I think a lot of what we see people celebrating is really not being a good human being. It's being a good liberal. It's being a good conservative, but it's not necessarily being a good human being. And this isn't like, sorry, I'm parking at Walmart because I'm going to go ahead and get some Dayquil or something, but really what we should be focusing on as Americans, and really anywhere you are in the world, is a country should be united on all fronts, and we should celebrate diversity, considering that our entire country was created through diversity. We should be respecting each other as human beings. We should be having compassion. And the thing is I see this on both sides, liberals and conservatives. I see that both sides are very passionate about certain things, but within that passion, there's this sense that they have to shut down the other side in order to be passionate about their side. When in reality, there are no sides. Yes, there's differing viewpoints, but one of the reasons I became an independent, and I don't even like labels, but that's really where I stand politically, is because even when I was... Let me backtrack it just a smidgen. When I was younger, I was probably more liberal. And then when I was older, I was more conservative. And now I'm kind of in the middle. And the reason being is, when you are put into a box and saying, I am a liberal, I am a conservative, I am a this, I am a that, you are forcing yourself to adhere to every single belief within that organization or group. Okay? And with me, there were times where I would agree with one side, but not the other, and vice versa. And what I found over time is, if I would speak out against my own supposed group that I belong to, I would get attacked. And what is that all about? Why are you attacking your own people? You know what I mean? So I realized quickly over time, no, not quickly, sorry, that was a little bit of a oxymoron there. I realized over time that I don't need to belong to a group in order to have my own opinions and for my opinions to be valid. And so when I'm thinking about how we can make the United States unified, I think it should boil down less to political sides, and it should boil down more to looking at each other on a human level and learning how to respect each other's differences, and even differences in opinions, but also learning how to be open-minded and not so close-minded. For myself, my viewpoints on many things changed over the years because I chose to be open-minded and to be open to receiving new information, even if it created a little bit of cognitive dissonance because maybe it was going against something I previously believed to be true. But if I received information and it made sense and it caused me to think a little differently, I embraced that instead of fighting against it. And so in our country and other countries around the world, I think that in this age of awakening, in this age of truth, we're moving towards learning how to look at each other from a more human point of view. Looking at things, if you want to get into the political side of things, looking at things on a case-by-case basis, an issue-by-issue basis, instead of clumping all issues into conservative or liberal and saying, well, you have to believe everything about this because you're a liberal. You have to believe everything about this because you're conservative. No. How about we go within and decide for ourselves what we truly believe about that issue? And within that process of deciding what we believe, we choose to be open-minded and consider the information on all sides, not just the side we think is correct, because that is how you can come into union with people. That is how compromise is made. That is how peace and harmony is created. It is a given that not every single person on the planet is going to agree with each other, because we all have different backgrounds. We all come from different belief systems. But if you want to achieve true peace and harmony, there has to be a bending at the knee at some point to our fellow man, okay? So I don't know why this came through. I just feel like for many people around the world, and specifically in my country, there's been a lot of divide, and unfortunately I do believe that's been perpetuated by certain groups of people on this planet that really thrive when people are against each other, because it creates an illusion of control over us, and they don't really want us to be united, because if we unite as people, then we no longer need them. And I think that creates a threat to them. So their job is to perpetuate constant fighting and divide. And so they create all kinds of situations that will cause people to fight against each other. But the one thing they're not teaching people, the one thing that they're not perpetuating, is how to get along. You know, you don't see these government entities and these elites and things like that. They're not going on mainstream media and TV and stuff and teaching you how to think critically, how to compromise, how to respect your fellow human being. No, they're doing the exact opposite. They're fanning the flames because they want to keep us fighting against each other. Okay? So I don't know. I don't want to keep being a dead horse. Like I think I've made the point. I just really hope that I don't want to say I really hope. I said I have hope. And I feel confident in the universe that humanity is moving in a positive direction towards learning how to listen to each other, learning how to receive information, and learning that it's okay to not agree. It's also okay when something you previously believed to be true, maybe there's more information now. Because sometimes people with that cognitive dissonance, when they're holding on to a certain belief system or belief, and that gets challenged, it makes them very uncomfortable. And instead of opening up to that and embracing it and allowing themselves to move through that uncomfortableness and learn from that experience, they shut down, they double down, and then they become even more stubborn. And that's counterproductive, right? Like if we want to live in a society where there's true peace and harmony, where it's okay to disagree, but people don't get rude and disgusting and mean about it, where there's not fighting about it, and where we just learn to respect each other's differences, and we all get along, and we're supportive of each other. And as I'm saying this, I can think of a million different situations and scenarios that this applies to. So it's really universal. We're really going to just have to go within, and I really think going within and doing the healing process within is a great start, because that helps you become more self-aware, and it helps you to release shame and guilt, and gives you the ability to think critically. It gives you the ability to seek forgiveness and to give forgiveness, and it gives you the ability to have compassion, and it really changes you on a human level when you start to heal yourself. But then once you do that, it also helps you to be able to look at people differently. It allows you to be more open and willing to meet change. And I'm having a hard time articulating that, but I think you guys get what I mean. So anyways, I don't want to make this too long. I hope this makes sense, and I'd really love to hear your thoughts in the comments about this, because I really do feel we're kind of heading in that direction. It's very easy to get sucked into focusing on all the negative in the world, but through my own awakening, I've learned to really recognize the positives in the world and the positive shifts. And what I see happening is people becoming more aware. Yes, there's resistance to this change, and yes, there's still people out there that are fighting this, but I do see a positive shift happening, and I really want to keep the energy focused on that so that we can build some momentum and really see some positive change in the world. Let me know your thoughts. Have a great day. I love you guys. Namaste.